Hi everyone, today I'll be filming a video regarding on my education journey. This is a impromptu video that I decided like yesterday. So in this video, I will be introducing myself and I'll be breaking down my education journey around 5 or 6 chapters. And the last chapter will probably be some advices to people. Okay, my name is Chrissy. I just graduated from Republic Polytechnic. My diploma is Diploma in Business Information Systems, which is the School of Infocom at RP. I graduated with Diploma with Merit and I'll be studying at Singapore Management University in August, where I will be taking up a degree in Bachelor of Science Information Systems, Smart City Management and Technology major. Besides taking interest in IT, I also like to analyze movies. If you are not aware, I do own a blog called Devil in the Skull, which actually consists of reviews on movies, television series and music. Sometimes I do post about restaurants, the food and as well as personal life, but these days I don't really use it often because I had other interests that, like example, I'm doing tarot readings and trying to create music, so I didn't have time to really do a review, but I will probably catch up on it this month or maybe next month, hopefully, if I can find the time to do it. So that is my introduction, and so I'll be moving on to the next chapter, which is about my primary school. So the first thing I'll be talking about is my primary school days. So I came from Bukit Panjang Primary School. I was first in this class 1C, which is almost towards the foundation level kind of class, but that's okay because primary 1 you just started your education time and all that, so nobody really knows what's your level of standard regarding your education. Now my primary school days, I don't really recall much because firstly the friends there are just so fake. We were friends, like I was friends with quite a lot of people, but most of them choose to either forget me in secondary school or they just move on. And those people who are still my friends, most of them are at further education studies, so I don't really have a connection with them. So in those days, primary school, when they say they are your friends, it's actually very bullshit. After P1, I went on to P2, P3, P4, and at P5, everything was settled. I went to 5C, which is again very near the foundation level. Now, until today, I don't really know what is this primary school, the banding and subject banding or all that. I didn't really get it. I just knew in ways that I was very bad with maths. Like I really failed my maths exam, and to this day I always feel that primary school has been a time where they really make you like very stupid. They make you feel like that you are in some ways that you're not that smart, you're not brilliant, you're not good enough. And especially in primary school days where I think most of us as students, we tend to go for tuition center. I went for a few tuition lessons. I will not be saying which tuition center I go. That person is related to me, but I just knew that in tuition center I wasn't very happy with myself because I have always been seen as very stupid. And just because you never do your homework, you immediately go for the principal office, and I didn't understand. Okay, I mean, yes, I did not do my homework, but if that work is so difficult and it does not tie to my level, it does not tie to make me understand, then I'm not doing it, you know. And primary school is so tough because Bukit Batok Primary School is a kind of a prestige primary school. It has been around since the 1930s, so obviously it's a branded primary school. Like, not everyone gets to go in and all that, and we've been exposed to ways that I don't know how primary school you can say that they train you, example like computer skills and so many more that I just cannot remember. I just remember that at that point of time primary school was just something that I feel it was very miserable, because you not just have fake friends, but you have teachers who only teach people who are very smart. And when you are smart, then they reward you with tidbits, drinks and all that, and I always didn't make the cut because I failed my maths. The only thing that I was very excited and happy about was my science, English, you know. Science has always been a subject I can win people, and maybe that's where my competitive streak come from. And I always feel that whatever that I did today, in the past and in the future, I'll always say that primary school is the time where it really change your behavior a lot, and it really make you feel like a bitch. It totally a very different character from what you hope to be. And that is for my primary school. By the end of the whole primary school education, I got a PSLE score of 191, which is exactly the criteria to be able to enter normal academic stream, as well as being eligible to try out for express stream. I decided to take on normal academic stream because of the rigorous kind of competition in express. If I go to express cohort, okay, I mean, let's say I go into express cohort, I able to do well, but what if I fail? No, I'll probably be one of the last few people in class and all that, and it's very embarrassing, you know, when if you don't do well for your class, you know, you don't do well in your level cohort, the chances are you get demoted. And what's worse, you know, to be in NA and then do well, or to be what in express and then you realize you can't do it, you can't meet the kind of capabilities with your other peers, and it will shoot down your whole self-esteem if you go through the express route. I'm not against people from express because I do have friends from express. It's just in my opinion that I rather be at a kind of place where I feel safe. I feel that I have the capability to do well in that place. That's why I chose to go normal academic route instead of taking up express, and it was really the best choice. And because it's a best choice because as a NA student, I can get to choose a lot of different good secondary schools around my range. Like, you can go for like Bukit Panjang Government High, you can go for West Spring, you can go for Zhenhua Secondary School, even Fairfield Methodist School as well. You know, with a PSLE score of 190 and above, you can really unlock lots of doors to different kind of secondary school, especially for NA students. And I chose to go Greenridge Secondary School because my sister was there at that point of time, and it was really close to my house. So that is how my primary school life is so far, you know, just making friends with people who in the end don't acknowledge me back, being a dumb one in class because I fail maths. But one thing I get is that I passed my mother tongue, so, and I even got A for mother tongue, like, wow, you know. So yeah, I mean, primary school really does affect what you truly believe, and it make you see things that nobody really see. Like, example, in my primary school days, I make friends with lots of people who either, you know, like to loiter outside HDB blocks, that kind, like to smoke. They are very rebellious. They shout like they are very against their teachers. They are very rebellious sort of streak. I even see people who tried to take drugs, that kind of people. Some went on to do well in school, some of them just waste their life, they just totally just heck care their life, and I didn't see them ever again. So this is my life, primary school. Okay, this is the end of chapter 1, and we shall talk about my secondary school. So the next up, the chapter is about my secondary school days. Oh boy. Secondary school days, I'll always remember these, and just like my primary school days, it really affect my life. It really affect how I felt about friendship. And today, I still believe that it is the cause of what I now truly believe in this friendships thing. So I went to Greenwich Secondary School. I know that some of my few other classmates, they do go into primary school, and I thought they were my friends. Okay, last time, those days, primary school, you thought, wow, everybody is so nice, so kind. But then, in secondary school, people want to be popular in school, they want to try to have cliques and that. I came in, I was very lonely. I mean, today now, if some people who are my friends right now, who are saying this, they thought, wow, like, how can you be someone with no friends? But I really did. I really came in to secondary school with zero friends. Because even those friends I have, they totally forget me. They pretend like they don't know me, like as if I'm some nerd that they just don't want to touch and see. There was one girl in particular, she's an influencer. She literally just been a bitch to me. Every time on my Instagram, she'll try to unfollow me, follow me 3 times to 5 times to make her followers look good, and she didn't want to associate with me. At that point of time, I had a sister. My sister was in Greenwich Secondary School. She had leadership position and all that, and my sister came from the top class in her cohort. And it seems that to people, it's like I have connection and all that, so they think I am bootlegging and all that such to get up to the position. I was like, no, I don't really know them. I mean, I just know them because my sister, And in secondary school, I went to join a Chinese orchestra where I played the woodwind instrument. They call it the shen, 中音声. I really excel well there, and it was at there I didn't feel like I've been judged, because most of the people there are from another cohort. They are in express, and there wasn't any competition with them because obviously, right, they are different level from you. They are starting to prepare for O levels, whereas I am studying for N level. So there wasn't any competition, and it was very nice. And that was the only time where I gained friends, because they didn't judge me. I only had friends when I went, like, my own same level cohort friends in Sec 2, when people start to slowly not judge me. My secondary school days, you can say that people say that I probably not bullied, it's just a minute bullying. No, I would say it's not even minute. It was really direct in your face, and they just give you the F you, screw you, that kind of look. They really just didn't like me because I was doing very well in school. And it wasn't intentional. I did not expect to do well in school. Like what I had mentioned in primary school, I was very lousy. I was very lousy in my maths. I was lousy in my subjects, People never really looked up to me. And secondary school time was the time where I realized if I put in the effort, I can just get that reward. Like, for example, my EduSave scholarship award, which is the only award that I'm eligible for. Until today, I'm still not very happy the fact that those people who are doing well, top 25%, getting EduSave merit bursary just because we exceeded the income. These people don't get to take the bursary. It's very unfair. Last time in those days, you don't have the EduSave certificate, okay? Nothing. Those people who exceed the income, they just don't get that opportunity that those other people who are within the range get. And every time my sister, all of us, we go to the Senja Cashew community club, people will just look down on you totally, like they like think they're up there, the kind of attitude. I hate it so much. That's why I work so hard to be within the top 5% of my secondary school cohort of normal academic stream, because I just want the money. I just want to be rewarded, and all I did, I worked so hard, I worked my ass off, is just really to get the scholarship. And that is why people don't really like me, because it's like they think I'm just some nerd studying. And by the way, some people thought that I just love to listen to classical music, and they are so shocked that I know like K-pop stuff and pop music. I'm like, what makes you got the impression that I listen to classical music all the time? Like back then I do like K-pop, like, you know, we have like EXO, we have Super Junior, and then we have what, TVXQ, you know. And some people even tried to make friends with me, but I know it wasn't real. And it was during that time in secondary school I learned how to be alone, you know, how to appreciate time to be alone when you have no friends. So if to those people out there who are in secondary school, no friends, right, it's okay. I've been there before. I spent 1 year sitting alone in the canteen. Every day people would stare at me, like stare lor, you know, the fuck. I try not to use the vulgar words, but it was really the kind of F word, you know. People really look down on people who are weird. People always look down on strange people or what, who just sit at one corner. That was me. And the only time that people only talk to me is when I do well, you know. Or maybe I have leadership positions. Back then I was in student councillor. My form teacher nominated me for student council, and I went for interview, I got it. And that is where people start to look up to me, because back then in my class I was the only person who was able to go join student council. Some of those bitches in my class, they really regretted not joining student council back then, because the student council nomination came about in July, whereas in secondary school you have what they call it, the house, like supporting, you know, those kind of sports competitions and all that stuff. They just immediately joined the house leader position because it was accessible, easily accessible. My god. But then that's okay, because at the end of the day, my school, my Greenwich Secondary School, they decided to merge the student council and house leader together to become what? A student council. Then in 2014, I became the general secretary for my student council. Now, being general secretary for my secondary school student council was a bit of let down, because as a general secretary, I felt that I didn't do much of the job. I had a position, but I feel in some ways I didn't do my job properly. Most of the time people just steal my jobs, or at that point of time I was hospitalized for pneumonia, so I didn't get a lot of jobs at the point of time for the last 30 days in September, October. I feel like I missed all the chance to do well because of my illness. So when every time I look back, I always tell people I was a general secretary in student council, but then what contributions should have done? Only teachers' days and trying to delegate roles to student councillors and such. It was so minute that I wasn't really proud of it. And this is where in Polytechnic I decided to do more, like contribute more and really do my part, you know, do my part to really make sure it's something memorable and something that I can at least be proud and tell people. Okay, so overall, my secondary school days has ups and downs. I think the most important thing I did so far was that my secondary school really taught me how to differentiate friends. differentiate who are the good people and who are the bad people, who are the people that I should make friends with and who I should not, how to deal with this kind of people who just don't like you for no reason, and how to get them on your side, get them on your support. And that really taught me how to be also independent, how to go about things alone and just be yourself, be true to yourself. That's why when I went to polytechnic, and so far I never had any issue because I learned all these lessons in the past. I try not to take for granted friends and all that, and I did what I do best. When you have knowledge, when you studied very hard, chances are that people will just come to you, and you shouldn't worry if you are smart, because people will always like to make friends with people who have resources. And that is what secondary school taught me. Otherwise, apart from that, I took up 6 subjects for my N-level: English, combined humanities, social studies and history, combined science, physics and chemistry, mother tongue, what else? Principle of accounts, mathematics. Around 6 subjects. At the end of the day, I scored 11 points, which allows me to be eligible for direct poly, from IT to poly program, as well as the Polytechnic Foundation program, which I will explain in the next chapter. So the next chapter I'll be talking about is my Polytechnic Foundation program. So after graduating from secondary school, I went on to Republic Polytechnic, where I studied subjects that are mostly taught in Sec 5, but this is an alternative route to Sec 5 if you do extremely very well in your N-levels. So back then, the criteria to go into PFP is to get 11 points equal or less. Nowadays, I believe it's 12 points, which I felt that in some way it was better than 11 points, because 11 points is it's an odd number. Most of the time when people do well for N-level, it's usually even number, like 12 points. 12 points, I would say 12 points, because most of my friends get 12 points, and at the point of time I feel bad for them, because they really meet the criteria. They did well for English and all that, and because they got 12 points, they are not eligible for this program. And now I like the fact that this program is going up to all those people who get 12 points, because like that more people have the chance to join the PFP. So what is PFP? Is a Polytechnic Foundation program, like what I said, and it is a practice-oriented curriculum catered to normal academic students who really wants to enter Polytechnic. They already knew what they want to do, and they just go in with their good results. And once you finish up PFP, you can get to secure a spot, the choice that you made in the PFP portal. Like example, for me, I took up a diploma in business information systems. So after PFP program, you get to just go into year 1 with the course that you want to go, which is, for me, diploma in business information systems. And that goes the same for people who wants to study science. Example, you applied for pharmaceutical science at, let's say, RP again. So you study all the subjects in PFP, and after you graduate from PFP, you will just enter School of Applied Science in RP, studying your course. This PFP course was really good, especially for me. I knew I really just wanted to go into a polytechnic. I had no interest in going JC. After seeing how my sister struggled in JC, I knew it wasn't for me. Okay, so during PFP, my life was much better there compared to secondary school, but there was still lots of ups and downs, probably because I brought on my bad experience from secondary school to my poly, which I shouldn't have done that, because it kind of limit my belief, like limit my options to making friends with people. So back then, in PFP, I studied English, mathematics, and so many more like computing, applied science. For me, I think one takeaway from PFP course is that you get to learn modules with people from different school. So it already gives you a first hand of network in this whole polytechnic. And I can say that in RP is good because I have this friend in at internship. He also came from PFP, and he told me that the in his poly they only get to study with the people who are going to that school. So example, you're taking an IT course, you'll meet people from related fields of IT. So there wasn't any like variety there. You don't get to meet people from engineering, you don't get to meet people from science. And that is where RP at PFP really comes about as a very interesting, unique program for people who just want to branch out and make new friends. And before PFP, if let's say you are not happy with your choice that the this education system or whatever give you, I don't know who give the course lah. So but then in RP they really, if I recall, was that the program director will try to contact you and see if you are interested in certain course, and you can transfer your course even before you start your PFP program. So some of my friends did that. Like I had this one friend from my secondary school. She was supposed to be in material science, but because she indicated that she wanted to go for pharmacy science in Ngee Poly, this program chair contacted her and gave her the offer of whether does she want to transfer from material science to pharmaceutical science, and she accepted it. So RP is really very lenient to all, and they will guarantee you the spot and the choice of what you want, and that can also be done even before you enter year 1. So I had this classmate from PFP. He was supposed to study in pharmaceutical science, but because he was interested in biomedical science, he did very well for his PFP subjects, and he managed to successfully transfer to biomed. So but again, this transferring of course it differs from other people's expectations. What I mean is that my friend that I mentioned, he managed to go into the course that he want. I have also another friend who wanted to transfer into my course as well, business information systems. He didn't manage to get his transfer done. It failed because he was taking up information technology, and I believe that he did not get into business information system because information technology and business information systems are nearly close to the same thing. Pharmaceutical and biomed is different because they are, one is had to do with human bodies, which is the biomed, and the other one has to do with medicines, dispensing medicines, and understand the procedures behind taking care of, I believe, the effects of medicine. So it's a very big different thing for those people who are very interested in science and trying to branch out the fields. You really have to be careful of what you choose for your subjects because it really does affect your application to university in future. So in PFP also, I get to acquire skills like presentation skills. If you come to Republic Poly, there are lots of presentations. There are presentation almost every day. I say almost because sometimes some days they probably don't do this kind of presentations. But overall, I would say that it did make me feel comfortable with talking to people, and it makes you feel at ease. You know, when you go to stage, it's a kind of second nature kind of feeling. That's what I remember from PFP. And apart from that, I did just now mention about the highs and lows. So from July onwards, around July 2016, I slowly start to feel distant from my friends. I think because of the cliques thing, I was very pressured to just join into a group of friends, and I realized they did not fit what I like. I don't have a really same interest as them, and because of that I slowly withdraw from the group. I didn't like it, and I was very happy to be in this alone, this kind of hermit self, to really do what I want, but it was very lonely. I chose to do so because I'd rather be alone than to join a group that makes me feel like won't have my freedom, I won't have my time to do whatever I like. And from there, also during that time in PFP, I had a crush on one of my classmates. It was the time also I start to experience what it's like to fall in love. I would say it's very cheesy, but I'm someone who don't really fall in love with people very easily, and this person really just attracts me because of his way of talking, the way he handle things, and how he's like responsible and all such. Overall, he rejected me, and it really changed also another perspective, not just friends, I think also about love. Until today I don't really choose to confess to people because of this experience that I got. And to people who are like me in this situation, I would say try not to confess too fast and enjoy the friendship while it lasts. I think friendship is overall a better way compared to just trying to confess, and then when you try to get back to that friendship, it will never be the same. No matter how many times people promise you, it will never be the same. And that's what that guy did to me. He just said it will still be the same, we are friends, and I was like, no, I don't think so. He just slowly just distant from me, and then he didn't live up to his words. Okay, so that was also how I entered my PFP journey. I gained lots of good experience, like skills on how to help me for my 3 years of my diploma studies, but at the same time I lost a friend that I felt it was a waste. It was a terrible shame because he was really a nice person, and things because of that I just ended my PFP in such a mood. So, and I think that's about it for this PFP chapter. I'll be talking about what I did in my 3 years of diploma, which is very exciting.